Welcome to the Passion for Pencils summer project. I'm going to color this beautiful butterfly. It's called a swallowtail. And last year when my husband and I were in Switzerland, we saw quite a few of these butterflies, and then last spring we saw dozens of these butterflies in Germany, and they were so beautiful. So I thought this is a great butterfly to do coloring. And for myself, I tend to overdo very light colors when I'm coloring and painting. So for me, it is a great opportunity to work on my coloring skills, because we are doing this with colored pencil. And you can join me in the Etsy web shop. You can download a template, and you can print that template, and you can start coloring right directly on the paper that you printed on. But I want to do some testing of a paper type that I had it as a gift from my husband. This is Strathmore, the 500 series, Strathmore Bristol Vellum, and I'd like to test it out. So this is the template, and as you can see, I already did some coloring because I tested a little bit of the process, and I don't want to print it out again. I think I can just use it twice, you know. It's good for the environment and not to print it again. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add some extra graphite pencil on the back, and then we can start tracing. Here I have a 6B graphite pencil. And I am going to use a ink pen to retrace. I don't do that all the time, but this time I am going to do that. But first, putting on the graphite here, and then tracing it with a hard pencil with a very sharp point. And that is something that I figured out while doing the testing for this project. In the testing phase, I let my pencil become too dull, too blunt, and then the lines became too thick. So I'll try to use and maintain a very, very sharp point on my on the pencil that I will be using for tracing. Normally I do use a red pencil, but since I've already used that, I think I will go for a green one this time, or a blue one, and it will be either Irojiten or Procolor, because those are the two hardest pencils that I have, and I want to keep that the tip of the pencil as sharp as possible. So here I have it. Let's place that somewhere in the middle. And here I have an Irojiten, hyacinth blue. So if you have a printer that can handle, oh, the tip breaks, good Lord. Well, now I'm going to sharpen it. That has never happened before. Well, at least not with an Irojiten pencil. There it goes again, but it was very sharp. So, if you have a printer that can handle a slightly thicker paper, then you can try to print this template directly on the paper you wish to use for coloring. And let's check. That goes well. I don't think you were able to see what I saw, but that goes well. These swallowtail butterflies, you can find them here in the Netherlands, but actually I saw them once or twice in the Netherlands. But when we go to the more southern areas of Europe, like Austria, Switzerland, Germany, then we do see them quite often. And last April we were in Germany and we had the opportunity to go to a mountain top in a region called Frankenland, Fränkische Schweiz, north of Nuremberg. And there they have this mountain top and they call it Valberla. And it was beautiful weather, sunshine, typical spring, and all the butterflies were out chasing each other, looking for the first flowers, and it was just beautiful. And there were a lot of these swallowtails. I also did a project last year of a swallowtail butterfly. That was a painting, a watercolor painting, but I screwed that one up. It didn't work out because I didn't understand how to make the lightest areas, the lightest tones work. I added too many layers of the wrong colors, and then I ended up with something that I wasn't happy with it, but it taught me a lot. I still have that painting here somewhere, but no. So this time, I hope with the colored pencils I will be able to do better. Well, I forgot to, I paused for a while and then I forgot to push the record button, the record button, so This is everything. Look, there it is. Now here I have my 0.05 Staedtler pigment liner. And because the weather is quite hot and my hands are a bit hot, I will use a little bit of this small bit of tracing papers to prevent my hand from smudging everything. I'm not going to trace all the lines. Because the line here I will not trace. I'm going to use these ink lines in the areas where there will be black in the butterfly. Areas where there is no black in the butterfly, I will try not to use ink lines. And you don't have to be too precise with this tracing. I try to be as precise as possible, but you know, no two butterflies are the same and no two wings are exactly the same. So these patterns are just like with tigers and zebras. The patterns are unique to the animal. This eye, I found it a little bit too large on the sketch, so I made it a little bit smaller. I've also tested a couple of pencil brands on this paper, and I think I will start with Polychromos, Luminance, bit of Pablo, I think. If you need to do long lines, then it can help to put the pencil on, or your pen on the paper, and then let your eyes already go to the area where you want to arrive. Sometimes that really helps to make a better line. Now in this case, it doesn't need to be a completely straight line. But back in the days when I was drawing architectural drawings, it was important that you were able to draw straight lines. In the first years of me studying, it was still important, but then the computers came. And then, well, the fun was gone. But you can make beautiful straight lines by letting your eyes move up. I think this is a mistake. Yeah, your eyes are leading the way. So your eyes are already moving to the finish line, there where you want this line to go. That works so good. If you practice that, you can make beautiful straight lines in the end. Here we have a problem. And here I have a surgical blade. You can buy it in the art shops here. I will scratch this off. Now normally I wouldn't try this, but I think this paper can handle that. Now I will have to do something to fix that paper, but I hope by just erasing I will be able to fix the problem. I need a larger brush to do this. So first thing I'm going to do right now is with this very sharp green pencil, Permanent Green by Polychromos, drawing a line that will save the contours of this butterfly, of the wing. That looks much better. And here I have pink Meadow Lake, and I will do the same. I'm not completely sure how the background will be. I want it to look natural and maybe have some suggestion of a flower, something like that. Now I must take a good look. This is the damaged area. Let's get back to the permanent green. Now I must make sure that I don't overdo the light areas of the butterfly. And this is one of the lightest tones I have in my luminance set, Primrose. And let's see what that looks like. It is very light. I will mix this and layer this with other shades that have a slightly different color but are just as light. Maybe a little bit darker, but not much. If I make this darker, things will go wrong. It looks like I have this tendency of my eyes have a tendency of feeling that light areas in a drawing are just not finished or something like that, and then I tend to overdo things, go too dark, and then everything goes wrong. So I really try to stick with the plan. This is an interesting area here because I need to make a special effect, so to speak. Let me show you what I mean. This is one of the reference photos I'm using, and you can see this looks like very a dotted area. So there is this light yellow and then there are all these black dots on top of it. So I hope I can pull that effect off. So I will first add this light primrose tone. Here in the Netherlands we are in the middle of a heat wave. It has been warm and hot for a long time now. And the government asked people to be a little bit thoughtful with the use of water. There is enough water, but the government of course wants to be sure that it stays that way, that there will be enough water continuously. And of course we have enough water in the Netherlands, but it's not all suitable for drinking water. And because we live, so many areas in the Netherlands are below sea level, there is now the problem of seawater, salt water seeping into the areas, into the, there is seawater seeping in, and that has direct effect on, for example, the crops, on the farmers' crops, you know. Plants, most plants don't like salt water, so they slowly die, and for farmers that is not a good idea. This is dark indigo, and I'm going to build the black color of this butterfly. I'm not going to use just black, but I want to build a black color. So yeah, there is an area in the Netherlands where they now built a dam to prevent salty waters to seep into to seep in. And the flowers and the plants in our garden, they are a bit thirsty, but I am hesitant. I am not giving them as much water as I would do normally. You know, if the government asks to not use too much water, then I need to be thoughtful about that. As you can see, I need to do some sharpening. And I must say, a mistake like this didn't happen a year ago. But again, I am coloring without my reading glasses. And that is not very wise, I have to say, because my eyes are screaming for reading glasses. But I find it quite, I have to get used to it. So far it's not really, no, I'm not very used to reading glasses. If you are doing this color along with me, then it would be wise if you yourself go search for a reference photo of this beautiful butterfly, Swallowtail. I think just putting a reference photo on your desk or on your table right next to you will really help you to navigate. Although it may not be the same butterfly, I'm sure it will help you to navigate. I have a little bit of a cold. So I hope I won't make too many nasty sounds. You know, it's a runny nose, and then when a cold comes in this time of year, you first think it's hay fever, but this time it's a cold. I forgot. No, this is not the right one. Where is it? Primrose here. This needs to be yellow. Yeah, that looks better. So I'm just sketching the first colors.